And what kind of things did you do around the house? You said you helped her out.
Elvira was retired, and by her own admission, she was quite lazy. So when I first moved in there was like 40 some odd bags of trash in a room, and there was rat feces and stuff like that. The place was a mess. She only had one working toilet, and that was barely working, stuff like that. So I said, well, you know, for my room and board and to keep me busy, I'll, you know, start doing stuff. So I did. I started first by cleaning up the place, getting rid of weeds and fire hazard stuff around the house. Then I would clean the house, and she liked my cooking. I'm a pretty good cook. So I started doing like 95% of the cooking. So it was basically just running the house, you know. And let's see, boy, I did a lot of stuff. I installed a brand new oven. I installed a dish, what do you call it, the disposal, sweet disposal. I did all the gardening for more than 3 years. Put in an entire garden. I refurbished her flues and stuff on her heater, water heater. Oh God, I did a lot of things. I put together a lot of stuff that she got addicted to Amazon. She started buying a lot of stuff, so I had to put together everything. Pretty much kept the house in pretty good order. And then, oh yeah, helped take, she messed up her knee or something. She was loath to go to the doctor to get things, you know, straightened out. So her knee was kind of bad, so the dog had to be walked every day, you know, twice a day. So I did that, took care of the dog, and, you know, just generally keeping up everything. And then the other 2 toilets were not working in the in the bathrooms, in the bedroom bathrooms, and took those out. Finally had to call a plumber because the roots were growing up through the plumbing. So they came and they tore that out and then covered it up. So I retiled the bathroom floors, both of them, after they had, you know, torn everything out. And then I installed 2 new toilets as well. I refurbished, air conditioner hadn't been working for 5 years. She said it was broken, really wasn't, but she didn't know anything about it, so I refurbished the air conditioning, so for the last 2 years she had air conditioning. And just all sorts of little things, just tons of little things. I don't know, abuse or overuse. I don't know, either way it's not doing your prescriptions right, and she would like take a bunch, right, as soon as she got them, like I think it was alprazolam was one of them, and then she was on a form of Xanax, and she stopped taking her blood pressure medication, which she wasn't supposed to do, but she did stop it. But she would use it all at once, you know, and then she'd like lay around for like 3 days, just lay around, and then she'd suffer withdrawal. I could tell it was withdrawal because of the way she was behaving and stuff like that. And she was kind of up and down, not kind of a lot, up and down.
You said she didn't have a lot of friends.
The entire time I lived there, let me think. There was one guy, he was a Native American that she knew that had stayed with her at one time. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, I just met him the one time. And he stopped by to see her, but he hadn't seen her in like more than 2 years at least. And, yeah, and then, well, there was a neighborhood guy, but he wasn't really a friend. He was just a strange guy that used to come around once in a great while and bum a cigarette or something and then move on. But this one guy is the only one. And then I did see Edward once too. Edward came there once. I don't think he was supposed to be there, but he showed up one night, I remember, for like a day.
What would you consider you to Elvira?
I was a good friend of hers.
Yes. Okay.
Would it be fair to say that she was mean?
She was very mean. She was abusive.
Was she abusive towards you? What is that?
It's a scar from the last time that she hit me with a folding table.
Okay. When was that?
Just before I left.
And what started that situation?
I have no idea. You'd be reading or watching TV or sleeping. She seemed to come at you when you'd be sleeping.
Did you have to defend yourself against her at that point?
Well, she would just start going off. I do remember now why I got this was because her headphones on her computer stopped working and she listened to audiobooks constantly. And she would sew and listen to audiobooks. And I said, well, let me check your headset. So I checked her headset. There was nothing wrong with the headset. It worked on other devices. And I fiddled with it, and I thought, well, the connection on the computer is shot, maybe. But then it would go in and out, and I was like, so I said, let me look up something. So I had a tablet, a little, tablet computer. So I went and looked up troubleshooting on her model and why it would or would not possibly work. And in the meantime, she said, well, I guess I'm going to have to buy a new computer. And I said, well, that's just silly to buy a new computer when this is a very minor problem that could probably, the Geek Squad could fix for you. I said, I don't know why you'd want to spend that much money on a brand new computer unless you really wanted one. I said, that's just plain silly. Let me look this up. And I did. I looked it up, and evidently you can change what's called a driver on the computer. I'm not a computer nerd, but I understood what they were talking about. So I changed the driver to headset, which wasn't that difficult, and then put it in. It worked fine. And then, so I didn't know if there was any, at that moment I didn't know if anything was wrong. Then she got up and she went to her another easy chair, and she started to read, and she said, she goes, I really want something soothing. And I knew she liked tapioca, but the tapioca would take a long time to soak. So I said, well, I can make you some vanilla pudding real quick. It's no big deal. She said, yes, please. So I made her vanilla pudding. And I served it to her, and I took it to her. And there was no problem, really. I didn't sense any kind of a problem. And that afternoon, after I got through watering the garden, I was laying in bed, and I was like half asleep. And I believe I had the headphones and was listening to a political show. And I hear just a screeching noise, and I thought, what in the world? But I didn't pay too much attention because it was intermittent, kept coming and going. I thought, what? And so I sat up, and when I sat up, she came storming into the room. And she said something about, I can buy my own computer if I want to. And she was just yelling at the top of her lungs. And I said, well, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say you couldn't afford a computer or something. I said, that's really your business, but I'm sorry I made that comment. And then she went on, and she had this bad habit of not sticking to one thing. It was pretty erratic. You know what I mean? It would be from this side to this side and then, And it was hard to make sense of it, so I would just sit there kind of like most of the time dumbfounded. And then she'd start name calling, and then she'd get in your face. She liked to poke you with her finger, too. And she was pretty nasty that time. And then, so to tease her, I took the what do you call it, the tablet, and I put it on video. I thought, well, maybe she'll calm down, and I was filming her in her rage, and she did not like that at all. I meant it as a joke. It was evidently she didn't like it, and she got really, and so she left, and I thought, well, good, that's over, because she calmed down and there was no problem. So do it, but certainly I felt it, and I turn around, and there it comes crashing down on me. Oh, hit my arm and my head, like right there on the top, and then hit my arm, and I was, oh, and she whacked me good too. She whacked me good. It splintered the table. And then she grabbed the TV remote, which was a great, kind of a big affair, a big thing like that lights up, and she threw that in the same direction that which was towards the bathroom, that she threw the tablet. And but it bounced off of an easy chair that was there, and I don't think it hurt it. Well, and so that was that event. Didn't stop. So she started the physical stuff again, getting in your face and things, and that's the time when I yelled at her. And I did tell her, I said, oh, Vera, I yelled, screamed at her. I said, you have no right to touch me. Don't do that. Stop it. And so she stopped for a little while, and so I went to the bedroom, and I closed the door. And when you close the door, it means, you know, I'm not interested in dealing with it. So but she kept opening the door and turning off the overhead fan, which is very childish. And then she went into her bedroom where the electrical box is, the breaker box, and she turned off the electricity in the bedroom. Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, she had some stuff that she wanted to get rid of, and she had kept ordering these things. We needed some of them, and I'd used them, and I was glad to get them, but she wanted a cordless drill, so she ordered a Makita, but it wasn't cordless. She didn't pay attention when she ordered things. A lot of times I'd say, oh, Vera, let me look at it first if you don't mind, so that we don't. And she hated to send them back because it was a pain in the butt. So it wasn't what she wanted. So I put that in there, and I put a circular saw in there that was never used ever.
Brand new?
Brand new. She had one before. She loaned it to somebody. And after she ordered it, the guy came back and returned it, and it had like a 1-inch diameter bigger than this one, so this one was never used, and the other one was, I mean, it was a wonderful saw, so sold that, and I sold some knickknacks, a few knickknacks, and stuff like that, and a couple of baskets, I think, and just a little bit, not very much stuff.
Where was Elvira during the yard sale?
She was at home.
Was she inside?
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Sewing.
Yeah, we talked to some of the neighbors, and they said that they didn't see her at the time.
Well, yeah, she was there. I spoke to her on the porch, as a matter of fact. At one point, I had to ask her a question about a tray, a folding tray.
Oh, did any of the neighbors see her that you're aware of?
I don't know. I mean, I was there, but I don't.
You sold some of the tools to some of the neighbors?
Some guy. I think he lives next door. I don't know what his name is, so.
Oh,
Over at Pena's.
Oh, okay. The one that has a gallery or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't help out with the yard sale at all?
She chose some items.
What do you mean she chose some?
She chose some items to go for sale.
Oh, okay.
Because she had all these, like, tons of baskets. And then she bought a thing on Amazon again, and then put it together, and it was a shelving unit that rolled and had a bunch of baskets in it. She thought she got that straightened out the way she wanted to, so she had a multitude of these bags. They were like taking up so much room. I was hanging them from the ceiling. There were so many.
And where was the dog at this time?
Dog was there.
What's the dog's name?
Mary.
Mary. Okay. Yeah, because the neighbor said that they didn't see Mary either. They were concerned over Mary. I guess she's sick.
Mary's very old. She's very old. She's just old.
Is she on medication or anything? Who would give her the medication?
Now, that was Elvira.
Okay.
Almost always. Every once in a while, like if she wouldn't get up for a few days, which wasn't that often, she was usually up every day. And no matter what she would do, she would get up usually and feed the animals, the cat and the dog. And then,
and how would she do this? I mean, how much food would she give them? Just a little bit? Would she give them a lot?
she was on a prescribed diet. It was like, I think 2 scoops and then a can of Alpo, and then she'd crush up her medication and put it in.
Oh, okay.
And I did it a few times. Not too often. She was pretty good about doing that.
And so before you came here, you were talking about this scar. Is that right before you left?
I'm sorry?
The scarf that you got on your hand?
Yeah.
That fight that you guys had?
Yeah.
Was that right before you left to us from Santa Fe for Nave?
Yes.
Can we talk a little more about that?
Sure.
So you said she swung and hit you with the table, correct? With the little, where you eat?
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
We had words right after she hit me with that, on that particular, the last time. And, I said something to her. I said, that's like assault and battery, Elvira. I don't want you to go to jail. And I said, because I don't know who's going to run your house. And so she had sat down on the couch, the little, what do you call it, bed thing across from me. She had sat down there, and then she just started calling me every name in the book and stuff like that. And so then I started to get up, and I went to pick up a plate that needed to go to the kitchen. And I went to pick up the plate, and then she started in again and started hitting me with her fists. And then she blocked the way. She ran in front of me to the door, to the bedroom door, blocked the way, and then started taking swings at me, which she's not very good at doing. And so I got enraged, and I pushed her back towards the center of the room to get her out of the way. I don't know if I grabbed her like this and moved her, and I said, Elvira, get out of the way. And I moved her, and at one point she went down on the floor, and we got into it, and I hit her. I hit her head, or she hit her arm when she fell, and it did not sound good. It sounded like it hurt her. And also, I went to tell her, get up, Elvira, just get up. You need to leave the room. And she was having trouble getting up in this and the other, but she was just still cursing me. And I lost it. And I pushed her back down onto the floor, and I hit her head several times, I know, on the floor, which was a brick floor.
Do you try to stop her from talking at any time? To put your hand over her mouth, or
No, I didn't
Put
do
your hands on her neck?
No, I didn't do that. No, but I did hit her.
Okay. And what happened after that?
And then I was just so angry, just absolutely angry. And I said, you need to go, I said, you're bleeding over here, you need to go to your bathroom, and you need to clean up. And she seemed a little bit stunned, but she was still just, really absolutely livid. Screaming and yelling at me and everything else. And so I told her, I said, now I've done it. I said, I'm going to go to jail because you made me lose my temper. And I said something like, I really don't want to go to jail over something like this, over this is ridiculous. And I was mad, but measured. I wasn't screaming or yelling or anything like that. But but she wouldn't give up on it. She wouldn't stop.
How did you get her to stop?
She followed me into the bedroom, and I went and I reached in under the cushion in the, what do you call it, the folding bed, the day bed, the futon bed. And I pulled out a gun, and when she went back to her bathroom, I pointed it at her, and I told her, you need to really relax and calm down. I said, this is enough, this is over. And I kind of lost I don't really remember. I remember saying, this is enough, it's over. I don't remember, and I was talking at her, but I can't remember everything I said, to be honest with you. And so at one point she reached down and got it. She had thrown a bunch of stuff like that was on a folding tray, not a folding tray, just a wire shelf. She kicked it, threw it all over the place, and went into the bedroom and everything. And she grabbed what do you call it, some sort of a mat. I do remember that. A shower mat or something. And she bent down to pick it up or something, and she went down on one knee. And when she went down on one knee, I pulled the trigger and shot her.
Where'd you shoot her?
In the bathroom.
Do you know where it hit her?
No. I did see blood coming out from around her neck or back of her neck or something. And I pulled the door closed, and I never opened it again.
How long were you there after that happened?
One day. Day and a half. 1 day and a half.
What did you do with the gun?
I put it on the bed in our bedroom. I didn't want to look at it. I was absolutely shocked.
And you left it there?
No. When I came to Santa Fe, I brought it with me. My intention was eventually to use it on myself.
Where is it now?
It's in some trees near the Masonic Cemetery. I think it's still there. I haven't looked at it in days.
Was it hidden pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you mind taking us out there to show us?
I'll take you.
Okay. So then you, once this happens, you're there for about a day and a half or so. And what are you thinking at this point?
I was thinking that I was going to try and come to Santa Fe and, no, not Santa Fe, Las Cruces, and I decided, well, I'll just take the gun, but I didn't want to do it there. So,
Okay.
with little bit of money I did have, I had enough for like a tank of gas and a half, something like that. I came to Las Cruces. I just drove straight down. And I was gonna, twice I came really close to pulling the trigger, but I didn't.
What'd you do with your car?
It's in a pecan grove. Off of Old Highway 28.
Why'd you leave it there?
It ran out of gas and the battery was not good, so I couldn't do anything with it.
Where did you go after that?
Into town, and I've been hanging out ever since. Here and there, just wherever I could, been staying outside.
Outside mostly?
Always.
Always? There's no shelters or anything, any assistance?
I don't know. I didn't check.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Recently I've come down with what I think is COPD, so I can't really walk that far without getting really tired and breathless and stuff, so it's amazing I was able to make it into town.
Can you give us just a minute? We'll be right back with you.
Of course.
Thank you.